Some say they're crazy, some say they're an eccentric bunch, but what we do know is that their saves can be just as important as that last-minute winner. But it's a lot more these days than just stopping shots and catching crosses. First, they must master their own minds before they master their position. In this short feature, we delve into the minds of City's EDS goalkeeping coach Dave Felgate and EDS goalkeeper Angus Gunn about how the practice of psychology is used within the GK Union and why the role of the beloved number one has changed for the better. Felgate's professional career as a keeper spanned 20 clubs for over 30 years. Now passing on his wealth of experience to City's up-and-coming shot stoppers, the former Welsh international's talent was first spotted on the school playing fields in a scenario that's not too dissimilar to that of many other goalkeepers.
Slightly a little bit of madness in myself. I decided that I was a better keeper than the goalkeeper that we had at school, and I was a centre forward, and we were messing around one day at school and I went in goal. They were shooting and I was diving about all over the place, and then it all stopped and they were looking behind me and I was like, oh no, teacher's there, innit? So I looked around, it was the PE teacher. He went, you're going in. And that was it. That was the start of it all.
I don't know, it was a moment. I think it was just when I was trialling at Norwich, outfield. I think one of the keepers got injured and they was looking for someone to go in goal, and I just sort of put my hand up. Then it just went from there really. One of the coaches said, next time bring your gloves, so it was just from there really, and I just stayed in ever since.
The role of the goalkeeper has come a long way from the days of just making saves. In recent times they've been brought in from the cold, with training sessions solely focused on developing them as an outfield player.
We're quite fortunate in what we do with the EDS because we believe that the keeper gets involved with the outfield, so they're a lot more comfortable with their feet. Previously, when I played, it was a case of in the 18-yard box, defend the goal. Nowadays, the keeper has to, well, I think, you know, there's a saying, is they're an outfield player with gloves on. So we have to be competent in the way we want to play. We try and play out from the back, and our keeper has to be encouraged to do that, so we encourage him to play out left foot, right foot.
Generally, like when I was growing up, keepers were expected to just defend the goal and you know, keep the ball away from the goal, really kick long and stuff like that. But now most teams are, you know, looking to play out from the back and pass the ball. It's definitely changed since I was growing up, but I think it's changed for the better for goalkeepers. So they look more as players now, I think, than just a different breed.
I think the goalkeeper is one of the most important psychological players in the team.
Another integral member of Patrick Vieira's backroom staff is Christain Lattanzio, an expert in the field of football psychology.
The psychological makeup has to be a good communicator, so somebody that understands the psychology of his teammates, because he has to give in a short speed of time good information, detail, and also knowing how people around him take information. Another good trait to have for a goalkeeper is to be able to be calm, cool under pressure. And cool under pressure is different from different characters. Some people can be really, or look agitated, but still be cool under pressure, and other players more calm. So I think it's to be able to handle pressure and to be able to quickly forget.
A veteran of 612 first-class league games, Felgate understands the integral role of psychological and technological support and how it has evolved over the years.
When I played, it was you were left to your own devices. You know, if you had a bad game or there was something that went wrong in the game, generally when I played, if the game didn't go my way on a Saturday, I would probably take it home with me, sulk, sit in the back room, or go upstairs and just not talk to anybody. And then Sunday it was horrendous in our house. You know, the kids would be out in the garden out the way, and I'd just be sat sulking. And then by Monday I'd come round a little bit, and it was, you know, you had to do it yourself. You had to become quite strong mentally yourself.
What we're trying to do here is to try to integrate the mental aspect with the technical, tactical and the physical. So you have to try to identify, together with the goalkeeping coach and the head coach, what kind of mistakes among us and with the player. Because to talk about the player that plays well or plays badly is not detailed enough. And then you have to be a little bit more specific, just to see what kind of mistakes he makes.
You have to go and be patient with him. You have to be, sometimes, you know, you have to have just that, you have to listen, and because sometimes they have something that's going on in their lives out of the game that might be affecting it, so you have to just listen and just make sure they're okay. We go through all the performance analysis, we go through the clips, we break it down into training, and we go right back to basics, and then we just slowly build his confidence back up.
So it's like rebuilding them back from
Yeah,
scratch
basically
again.
you dismantle him, and then you're just putting him back together again, but you're putting him back together with a better engine, I suppose. You always nitty-pick, there's always something in the game that you think you could have done better, because I don't think anybody has a perfect game. There's always something you think you can do better, and that used to be all the same. I used to, if I played 90 minutes and I had one poor kick, I'd replay that in my head. Why did I go with that? Did I hit it with the inside of my foot? You know.
So with that in mind, how do goalkeepers overcome making a mistake? One familiar technique used are called triggers, or in layman's terms, an intervention strategy or mental cue for self-therapy.
If you make a mistake, triggers to like try and forget about it. So like having a walk off for a second, you compose yourself, breathing in and out, and just simply trying to forget the mistake. I see like quite a lot of people like get angry and shout quite loud, but personally I just sort of try and keep it inside. Sometimes I sometimes even laugh, just because, you know, I know it's like not what I expect of myself, so just try and laugh it off and just like think about the next one and just try and focus on that.
You know, we had one where we talked about changing channels, where you'd shout across, change the channel, because how we worked it was if you saw something bad on TV, you wouldn't watch it, you'd change the channel. So if anything was bad in your game, you just change the channel, just a little trigger. Other keepers have different ways of dealing with it. I think Mark Schwarzer had a thing where he conceded early in the game against Bolton in Carling Cup, kicked the post. That was his trigger to come back in, and then his head was clear, and I think he went on to be man of the match in the game.
I think that one key area to work with the goalkeeper, again, is the ability to refocus quickly, and then if you don't do something that you are satisfied, just the ability of regaining focus quickly, because in a game the scenario will change rapidly.
I think it was mentioned before that in a 90-minute game, I think the keeper touches the ball 98 seconds. So for the rest of the time, you're just trying to concentrate, or in my case when I played, we're just wandering around the pitches.
And obviously if you are a goalkeeper that has to face only 3 or 4 shots, the ability to perform in those 3 or 4 key moments in the game is different from somebody that has to face, I don't know, 25 shots.
And does that put more pressure on you, the fact that you might only be needed 2 or 3 times in the match, but you have to get those things right?
Yeah, possibly, because if you're more busy, then if you make like a little mistake, then people might forget it. If you have 1 or 2 good saves after that, if you have 1 or 2 saves in the game and you do one wrong, then people will remember that and just think of you like that.
Generally, I always wait on the pitch just at half time as they're coming off, but I always greet them with a little smile or something like that. So even though they might have done something wrong, by the time they get to me and I'm smiling, they've relaxed a little bit, and then we go through it. By the time we get into the dressing room, it's done.
However you perceive the goalkeeper, they are the ones who inevitably shoulder the responsibility of the final result. Call them what you want, but at the end of the day, they put their heads where others put their studs.
What a touch.